Hey everyone, just an update here with the part one mechanical build of the prototype summary. Basically, the prototype process worked as expected. We proved some key theories mechanics with the design, stopped some bugs before getting into the final build, as well as some new perspectives and adjustments that we're going to do based on some of that testing. After looking at the initial design requirements, we hit 80% of those. Basically, 100% of our essential requirements were met, and 60% of the non-essential requirements were met. Basically, those fell through the cracks just from having the chip tray design a little deeper than I expected, as well as eating all of my test subjects during the build and not paying attention to that. So small issues, but nothing that really affects the overall design. The bad point that we found out of the prototype testing was that the initial chip tray pin design is not robust enough to maintain consistent motion while moving the assembly. So that was something that we had to look at again. One of the opportunities that we had with prototyping was adjusting the approach through real-time problem solving. So going back to those pins that weren't strong enough, instead of going through a pin design, we actually changed to a solid rod. The solid rod design was robust enough to maintain that consistent motion with all the moving parts, but then you couldn't reach around it to get the last couple of chips. So then thinking about that as we're going through everything, I thought, okay, well, it doesn't have to necessarily be a tray, it can be a platform that the chips sit on. So that alleviates that, and then we can look at something where, okay, now that it's a platform instead of a tray, you can still use the same mechanism lower in the container to be able to work exactly as the initial design was supposed to.